I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, September the 2nd. You know, last week and the end of the prior week we were down so hard, and then came back at the end of last week and early this week kind of come back a little bit, and just so much volatility, but really we didn't lose that much ground. We were probably due for a little bit of correction anyway. And so now we just kind of need to get back to the basics and see what the supply and demand is. Not for a year and a half out, or when we have more cows there and more bred females and more calves hitting the ground, but what's going to happen in the next regular cycle. But on our futures, we started out early Monday with feeder and live cattle both up pretty good. Then they petered out there at the last part of the day and we're down 50 to $1, a little more there late Monday. And then Tuesday down pretty good. Live cattle for October down 187 on Tuesday, resting in there at 140, 132, which is a ways back from what our cash market is now. December was down $1.80. Feeder cattle for September was down 155, October was down 255, and from then on the out fronts on the feeder cattle down really hard, and they were down really hard on Monday too. So you think they're not going to take a bunch off these calves later this fall and probably around the new year when these big strings of calves come in? You better take a look, and you guys that own a lot of big strings of cows, you might want to back off on the new pickups and the rope and trailers with the living quarters until you see what these calves are going to bring this time, because it's not going to be anything like last year. Your weighted average for last week's direct fat cattle trade was 144.86. That was down 233 from the previous week. Dress trade on steers was 227.39, down 523 from the previous week. And we're the lowest we've been in nearly a year and a half on fat cattle trade. Only 50,900 head of negotiated sales last week. This week, feeder cattle cash sales, Oklahoma City had 6,500. They were steady to $2 higher. Joplin had 4,000, steady to $3 higher. So they did see that support that we thought we were getting late last week. Corn and soybeans down hard on Tuesday. Corn down 6 to 7, soybeans down 12 to 13 cents. We've got Labor Day coming up. Going to be no cash feeder cattle sales next Monday, so remember that. Cattle Market Central has also seen that support there. Look here on Tuesday's dashboard. The real-time index there is 204.96 with 22 auctions reporting, and that's down just 3 cents from the previous day. So we're starting to plane out a little bit instead of down, $1, $2, $3 at a whack from one day to the next. Look at South Coffeyville, Oklahoma. There on Friday, they had 116 head of steers, weighed 828, sold just after 3 o'clock, bring 209.75. Check out DV Auction on Saturday, on Labor Day weekend there, the JSK livestock out of the Finger Lakes in New York, upstate New York, at Canandaigua, New York. They've got a complete dispersal Angus herd right there. So check that out at noon Eastern. We'll talk to you on Friday.